Hello everyone, I'm Tang Tang from Susan's family. Today, I'd like to introduce a new design from our Animism series, the Courtyard Small Flower Basket, Cozy Autumn version. For this electronic tutorial, you can find the pattern chart on the website. Just search for sousod.com to access it. This product features tulips, sunflowers, roses, and daisies, the little bee and the entire assembly. First, learn how to crochet and assemble each flower branch individually. Then, combine them for the final assembly. Let's start with the tulip. Each tulip branch includes 2 layers of petals, 1 leaf, the pistil, and the stem. First, complete the crocheting of the petals and the leaf. Then, proceed with the assembly. Let's begin by learning how to crochet the petals. The petals include inner petals and outer petals. Both layers of petals are crocheted separately. They both start with a magic ring. Work around the magic ring loop, crocheting in rounds. The stitch techniques used include chain stitches, single crochets, slip stitches, half double crochets, and single crochet 2 stitches together. Now, please watch as I demonstrate the specific crocheting method. Before we start crocheting, let's learn the proper posture for crocheting. To make it easier for everyone to see clearly, I will demonstrate using thick cotton yarn. For specific yarn, color schemes, and hook sizes, please refer to the detail page of our product and the paper instructions. First, start with a magic ring. Here, you can use the adjustable magic ring method. Wrap the yarn tail once around your left little finger. Pass it through between your middle finger and index finger. Pinch the yarn tail with your thumb and middle finger. Pick up the crochet hook with your right hand. Position it on the right side of the yarn. Wrap the yarn counterclockwise once. Use your left thumb and middle finger to pinch the crossing point of the loop. Make sure the loop is large. Then, position the hook to the left side of the yarn. Yarn over. Draw the yarn through. The magic ring is now completed. Begin the first round. Work 1 chain as the turning chain for the single crochet. Yarn over. Draw the yarn through. The chain stitch is done. The turning chain for the single crochet doesn't count as 1 stitch. Move on to work 1 single crochet. Insert the hook into the magic ring. Yarn over. Draw the yarn through. There are 2 loops on the hook. Yarn over again. Pull through all loops at once. 1 single crochet is now completed. At the top right of the single crochet, there are 2 strands of yarn in a V shape. This is the stitch of a single crochet. 1 stitch represents 1 hook. Continue with the second single crochet. Insert the hook into the large space. Draw the yarn through. Yarn over. Pull through both loops on the hook at once. Another single crochet is completed. Refer to the chart. You need to crochet 6 single crochets in this round. Continue to complete the remaining 4 stitches. Three more stitches to go. Four more stitches to go. 5 more stitches to go. 6 more stitches to go. After completing, leave the starting yarn loop untouched for now. This makes it easier for assembly later. We will consider the side with clearer texture as the right side. Bring the starting yarn tail to the right side. Then locate the stitch of the first single crochet. If you can't find it accurately, you can count back 6 stitches from the last stitch. At this stitch, make 1 slip stitch to join. Insert the hook. Yarn over. And draw through all loops on the hook in one go. Slip stitch completed. This V shape formed by the slip stitch is a braid. The joining slip stitch does not count as a stitch. It needs to be tightened. To avoid crocheting too many stitches later, let's finish the first round here. Continue to crochet the second round. First, work 1 chain as the turning chain for the single crochet, yarn over, draw the yarn through. 1 chain stitch is done. Note: the turning chain of single crochet doesn't count as 1 stitch. This won't be repeated in the following instructions. Then, in the first single crochet stitch of the previous round, which is the same insertion point, where you just made the slip stitch, work 1 single crochet. Next, chain 11. After completing that, locate the third to last chain stitch. In this chain stitch, pick up the top half loop, which is this strand of yarn, and work 1 single crochet. Continue on the adjacent chain to the left. Pick up the top half loop, and work 1 single crochet. Following the same method, continue to pick up the top half loop of each chain stitch, and work single crochets correspondingly, completing the remaining 7 chain stitch positions. After completing that, on the adjacent single crochet below and to the left, pick up the stitch and work 1 single crochet. For the sake of explanation, we will refer to the completed section as one group. Now, continue with the second group. Start by working 1 single crochet on the adjacent stitch to the left. Then, work 11 chains. After completing that, from the third chain from the end, pick up the top half loop and work single crochets into each of the remaining chain stitches. Work a total of 9 single crochets. After completing that, work 1 single crochet into the adjacent stitch on the left side below. Another cluster is now completed. Following the same method, continue to complete the third group. After finishing, work a slip stitch join into the first single crochet stitch. Insert the hook. Yarn over. Draw through all loops at once. Pull tight. That's it. The second round is now complete. Continue with the third round. Work 1 chain. Then work 1 single crochet into the first single crochet stitch. Next, locate the second to last stitch among these 9 single crochets. At this stitch's insertion point, work 1 single crochet. Then, at the adjacent insertion point on the left side, work 1/2 double crochet, yarn over once. Insert the hook. Draw the yarn through. You should have 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over. Draw through all loops on your hook in one go. 1/2 double crochet is now completed. It should correspond to a V-shaped stitch on the upper right as well. Continue at the adjacent insertion point on the left side, and work the second half double crochet, yarn over once. Insert the hook. Pull the yarn through. Yarn over. Draw through all 3 loops on your hook in one go. Another half double crochet is completed. Repeat this process. Continue at the next 4 insertion points on the left side, working 1/2 double crochet in each. After completing those, at the adjacent insertion point on the left side, work 1 single crochet. Then, at the top, pick up a few threads and work 1 single crochet. Pay attention, do not pick up the stitch of this single crochet. In the same insertion point, work 1 more single crochet. Then, work 1 chain stitch. Continue in the same insertion point. working 2 more single crochets. After completing those, this may cover the adjacent single crochet stitch on the left side. You can move the completed section to the right slightly. Next, on the adjacent single crochet stitch on the left side, work 1 single crochet. Continue by picking up stitches and working 6 half double crochets and 2 single crochets. The last single crochet should be worked into the last stitch of these 9 single crochets from the previous round. For the sake of explanation, consider the completed section as one group. Continue with the second group. Skip 1 stitch first. Then work 1 single crochet in the second stitch from the left. Then, in the second to last stitch of these 9 single crochets, work 1 single crochet. Next, at the insertion point on the left side, work 6 half double crochets and 1 single crochet in sequence. After completing this, pick up a few threads at the top and work 2 single crochets simultaneously. Note: do not insert the hook into the stitch of this single crochet. One chain and 2 single crochets. After completing this, at the left stitch, work 1 single crochet, 6 half double crochets and 2 single crochets in sequence. This way, the second group is completed. Following the same method, continue to complete the third group. After completing this, join with a slip stitch in the first single crochet stitch. Pull tight. This completes the third round. Continue to the fourth round. Before working, secure the yarn. Stretch the loop. Pull the crocheted section through the loop. Pull tight. Next, locate the third stitch from the end. This is the last half double crochet you worked. Insert the hook into the stitch. Draw the yarn through. Gently pull the carried yarn straight. Don't pull too tight. This way, you have transitioned the yarn. Next, skip the next 4 single crochets below. In the first half double crochet stitch on the left side, work 1 single crochet. Don't make the single crochet too loose. Then, work 5 half double crochets, 1 in each stitch. After completing them, in the adjacent stitch on the left side, work 1 half double crochet and 1 single crochet at the same time. Next, in the adjacent stitch on the left side, work 1 single crochet. Continue in the adjacent stitch on the left side, work 2 half double crochets at the same time. After completing them, in the chain stitch position on the left side, work 1 single crochet. Be careful not to insert the hook into the single crochet stitch on the left side. If you can't find it precisely, an approximation is fine. Next, in the adjacent stitch on the left side, work 2 half double crochets at the same time. Continue with 1 single crochet on the left side. Then, in this stitch on the left side, work 1 single crochet and 1 half double crochet at the same time. After completing them, work 5 half double crochets evenly. Not counting the starting single crochet, consider the completed section as one group. After finishing one group, then work 1 single crochet 2 stitches together. First, in the adjacent stitch on the left side, work 1 incomplete single crochet, insert the hook, and draw the yarn through. This is the incomplete single crochet. The loops on the hook should not be too loose. Skip 4 single crochets below, in the first half double crochet stitch of the next group. Continue with 1 incomplete single crochet. Insert the hook into the stitch, and draw the yarn through. Similarly, the loop should not be too loose. Then yarn over, and pull through all loops at once. 1 single crochet 2 stitches together is now completed. Move on to the next group. Starting from the adjacent stitch on the left side, work 5 half double crochets evenly. Then, in the adjacent stitch on the left side, work 1 half double crochet and 1 single crochet together. Continue to the next adjacent stitch on the left, work 1 single crochet. In the next adjacent stitch on the left, work 2 half double crochets together. After completing that, work 1 single crochet in this chain stitch position. Then crochet a symmetrical stitch pattern to match the other side. Continue all the way down with 5 consecutive half double crochets. Another group is now completed. Continue with 1 single crochet 2 stitches together, that is, first in the adjacent stitch on the left side, and in the first half double crochet stitch of the next group. Work 1 incomplete single crochet separately. Then yarn over, and pull through all loops at once. Another single crochet 2 stitches together is now completed. Continue to finish the remaining group. After completing that, join with a slip stitch in the starting single crochet stitch. Tighten. Then work 1 lock stitch to secure. Stretch the loop. Leave a yarn tail of about 10 centimeters. Break the yarn. Pull tight. Finally, turn the right side texture outward. Weave in the ending yarn tail from the inside with a few stitches. And bring it through the center hole to the outside. This way, the crocheting method for the inner petals is complete. Everyone can finish crocheting the remaining inner petals. Let's move on to learning the crocheting method for the outer petals. The starting chain and the first round are exactly the same as the inner petals. The second round stitch pattern is similar to the inner petals, but you need to add 3 more chain stitches and 3 single crochets in each group here. Refer to the previous demonstration and follow the chart instructions to complete the first 2 rounds. I have already completed them. After finishing, I will continue to demonstrate the third round. Work 1 chain. Then, in the first single crochet, work 1 single crochet. Next, in the insertion position of the second to last single crochet here, work 1 single crochet. In the adjacent insertion position on the left side, work 1 half double crochet. Continue in the adjacent insertion position on the left side, and work 1 double crochet, yarn over once. Insert the hook. Draw the yarn through. There are 3 loops on the hook. Yarn over. Pull the yarn through the first 2 loops. Now you have 2 loops remaining. Yarn over again. Pull through all loops at once. 1 double crochet is completed. Correspondingly, there is also 1 V-shaped stitch at the top right. At the adjacent insertion position on the left side, continue to work a double crochet, yarn over once, insert the hook, draw the yarn through. There are 3 loops on the hook. Yarn over on after another, pull the yarn through the first 2 loops. Repeat this 2 more times. Another double crochet is now complete. Following this method, continue to work 4 more double crochets, corresponding one by one. After completing them, work 2 half double crochets, matching each position. Now we reach the position for single crochets and chain stitches. The stitch techniques should match the corresponding positions of the inner layer. Everyone should follow the chart to crochet this section well, and finish crocheting the remaining parts. Continue all the way down to complete the final single crochet stitch position. We will consider the completed section as one group. Continue to finish crocheting the remaining 2 groups. After completing them, join with a slip stitch into the first stitch. This completes the 3rd round. Now, continue to crochet the 4th round. The crocheting method for this round is similar to that of the inner layer. First, secure the yarn. Then, move the yarn to the last crocheted half double crochet position. Which is the 3rd to last stitch? Next, crochet 1 single crochet into the first half double crochet stitch of the first group, then crochet 1 single crochet. Continue following the chart to complete all the double crochet stitch positions on this side. After completing them, crochet 1 single crochet 2 stitches together over these 2 half double crochet stitches. Everyone continue to follow the chart and finish crocheting this round. Upon completion, join with a slip stitch into the first single crochet stitch. Then, fasten off the yarn normally. Hide the ending yarn tail inside, and bring it out through the loop. This way, the crocheting method for the outer petals is also explained. Everyone should similarly crochet the remaining outer petals and set them aside. Now, let's continue learning how to crochet the leaves. The leaf starts with a chain stitch. Crochet in rounds along the starting braid. In the last round, crochet while wrapping thin wire. The new stitch technique used is CH3SL picket. Please watch as I demonstrate. First, start with a slip knot. Hold the yarn in your left hand. Hold the hook in your right hand. Position the hook to the right of the yarn. Wrap the yarn counterclockwise. Pinch the spot where the yarn crosses with your left thumb and middle finger. Then put the hook on the left side of the yarn. Yarn over, draw the yarn through. This starting knot doesn't count as one stitch. Pull tight. Note: the loop on the hook shouldn't be too tight, or it will be difficult to work the next stitches. Begin with a chain stitch. Continue chaining until you reach the required number of stitches. Now, everyone watch. This is what it looks like after the foundation chain. Now, move on to the first round. Work one chain as the turning chain for the single crochet. Next, locate the second chain from the hook. In this chain, insert the hook into the top half loop and work 2 single crochets. After completing, work 2 single crochets in each of the next 2 chains on the left side. Work 1 single crochet in each chain. For the remaining chains on this side, continue to pick up the top half loop of each chain and crochet. Refer to the pattern and work the corresponding number of half double crochets, half double crochets, and single crochets. Continue all the way down until one chain remains. After completing, work in the last remaining chain. First, work 2 single crochets. Then, make a CH3SL picket. We'll refer to this as a picket from now on. Start with 3 chain stitches. Then insert the hook under the front loop of the next short needle stitch. Which is the strand of yarn closest to you? And also pick up the left side yarn. Work 1 slip stitch. That completes 1 picket. Continue in the same insertion point as the previous 2 single crochets. Work 1 single crochet. After completing it, start from the adjacent chain stitch on the left side. Note: Do not insert into the same insertion point as the previous 3 single crochets. Pick up the remaining 2 strands of yarn. Which is the same insertion point on this side of the stitch pattern. Crochet the same stitch pattern as on this side. Continue until only one insertion point remains. Place the yarn tail above the crochet hook. Crochet while wrapping the floating yarn into the stitches. After completing it, at the starting insertion point, crochet 3 single crochets simultaneously. Finally, join with a slip stitch into the first stitch. This way, the first round is completed. We will also consider the side with clearer texture as the right side. Continue to crochet the second round. Start from the first stitch position. Work into each stitch, corresponding to the stitch pattern below. Continue crocheting all the way through this picket stitch, correspond to the adjacent position on the right side of the single crochet below. After completing it, crochet 1 single crochet into this single crochet stitch. This stitch might be a bit puckered. If you can't find it accurately, just pick up approximately 2 strands and crochet. Next, in the hole of this picket stitch, crochet 2 single crochets. Similarly, if you can't find the hole accurately, just pick up a few strands approximately and crochet. After completing the 2 single crochets, crochet 1 picket stitch, that is, first crochet 3 chain stitches, then pick up both the front loop of the stitch, and 1 strand on the left side, and crochet 1 slip stitch. The picket stitch is now complete. Continue by crocheting 1 single crochet in the hole of the picket stitch. This is the same insertion point for these 2 single crochets. Then, on the left stitch, continue crocheting the same stitch pattern as below. All the way down to the last stitch. Finally, join with a slip stitch. This way, we have completed the second round. Now, continue to the third round. Pay attention. For this round, you need to wrap the thin wire. Make 1 chain stitch, then crochet 1 single crochet. Insert into the stitch first, and then take out the thin wire. The color of the thin wire here is not for reference. The focus is on explaining the method. Leave about 15 centimeters at the beginning. Place the thin wire above the crochet hook. Wrap it in as you crochet. Continue to work one single crochet into each stitch. Always place the wire above the crochet hook. Wrap it in as you crochet. Follow this method all the way down to the position below the picket where the corresponding single crochets are. After completing it, in the chain space of this picket, crochet 3 single crochets at the same time. Then continue to work one single crochet into each stitch. Complete this round. After completing it, join with a slip stitch in the first stitch and fasten off. Leave about 15 centimeters of thin wire at the end before cutting. Do not deal with the yarn tails for now. This way, one leaf is completed. Everyone can follow the same method to complete the remaining leaves. After all petals and leaves are crocheted, you need to assemble them into a complete flower like this. The position of the leaves is random. Next, please watch as I demonstrate the specific assembly method. First, take out the inner and outer petals and one leaf, and set them aside for later use. Then, take out the pistil and one stem. Align the pistil roughly. And fold it in half. Slightly overlap the folded part with one end of the stem. Loosely spread out the pistil. Then wrap it with the same color thread as the petals. Leave about 10 centimeters at the start. Wrap tightly. For a secure hold, You can apply a small amount of glue at the starting position. Wrap for about 2 centimeters. Once completed, leave the thread end about 10 centimeters. Cut the yarn. Then tie the two ends in a knot to secure them. You can also apply a small amount of glue at the end. Next, insert the stem into the center of the inner petals. Pull these two ends through the center. Then tighten the beginning loop of the inner petals. This means pulling tight this yarn tail directly. Continue by threading the outer petals onto the stem as well. Pull these ends through the same hole. Then tighten the loop of the outer petals as well. Next, adjust the inner petals, positioning their bottom tightly against the outer petals. And stagger them slightly. Then secure them with a dab of glue underneath. You can actually use more glue in practice. Once the glue dries, Adjust the position of the petals to make the top of the pistil roughly level with the petals. Next, take the same color thread as the leaves. And start wrapping from the bottom of the petals, wrapping in the yarn tail at the same time. You can also apply a small amount of glue at the beginning. After wrapping for a bit, add the leaves, positioning them randomly up and down, but not too high up. Start by wrapping several rounds tightly. With the right side texture facing up. After wrapping, apply a small amount of glue at the end as well. This way, a complete tulip branch is assembled. Next, everyone can follow the same method to assemble the remaining flower branches.